Oh man, this thing is in rough shape. I do not have high hopes for this one. What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now today I'm going to do something a little weird, but I've been wanting to try it for a while. I have a lot of old car stereo stuff laying around and basically it's just rotting away, collecting dust. Why not do something with it? I think I'm going to call this my spring cleanup stereo build. Stereo system? Either way. Now, one of the things I got laying around is just this old box for a single 12 that I built years and years ago. It's still in pretty decent shape. It wasn't the finest box build I've ever done, but you know, at the time, it wasn't bad. It hasn't taken a lot of damage from laying around. Looks like maybe a little bit of water got into this corner and kind of, you know, did a little something there. It doesn't look like it's swelled enough to where it's not going to seal anymore. So, I guess the idea here is to take this box, clean it up a little bit, you know, update it, put some terminals in it. I got a little terminal cup. I used to just have a hole drilled and had some wires going through it. You know, how the pros do it. Alright, yep, workbench it is. Here's what's left of the crusty old box. It fell apart, but, yeah, let's get this guy out of here. This thing was so water-soaked that the box just crumbled. Most of the screws aren't even in it anymore. This thing is in sad shape, just falling apart. Ugh. Yep. Nice. Oh, man. Boom! And then I got one of my old Type R12s that has seen better days. To my knowledge, this thing still plays. They're not blown, that's for sure. They shouldn't be. But they definitely have their issues. So first things first, like I said, I want to add this terminal in, or I want to add this terminal cup in. I already have the old hole where the old speaker wire used to come through, but oh, you gotta be kidding me. What in the hell? What am I hitting there? Oh, I know what I'm hitting. Well, can we power through it? There we go. Only minor casualties. I go ahead and use my favorite box building screws. Now, I'm sure a lot of people would probably frown on these, but drywall screws. If it wasn't for playing around like this box would literally have just gone out to scrap. Here comes spring cleanup. So, might as well give it one more go. See what we can get out of it. Of course, as usual, I don't have exactly what I need, but we have enough to make it work. I was really hoping for some spade terminals I could just pop onto that, and I don't have any. Don't feel like running to the store just for that. So I do have some ring terminals, but then that leaves me the problem of how am I going to connect it? Now these are threaded because they're the push type connectors, so they do have a stud on the back side. Of course, I don't have nuts that fit it, but what I do have is the little tops off of a bunch of the spark plugs for my motorcycle. And wouldn't you know it, the threads are the same. So, we're definitely jerry-rigging some stuff today. Of course, I got just some wire I had laying around. Definitely not car audio stuff, but again, it'll work. Once I get this all together, I'll try and bring you in here, see my magnificent masterpiece that I got cooking here. You know, it's interesting in doing this because it really takes me back to being like, you know, a teenager. I didn't have money for big fancy stereo stuff. But man, I wanted something that, you know, played decent, got loud, whatever, and with whatever money I had. So sometimes that led me to doing stuff like this, just kind of making stuff work and building boxes out of whatever scrap I had laying around and using maybe some questionable subs and an amp that wasn't rated properly for it. But boy, did I have fun. So we got some ghetto wiring. Check. Questionable sub. Yeah. Check. Are the contacts great? No. There's a wee bit of rust and corrosion in there. Will it play? Man, I hope so. I might have to go through and do a little cleanup on those contacts and stuff like that. I know the amp works. But otherwise, yeah, I'm going to throw this sub in and let's go toss it in the car, see what it does. Much better. For those of you playing along at home, this is a dual 2-ohm voice coil sub. And it should do just fine on that SKAR amp. I have it wired in parallel. So I should be at 1 ohm. Line it up with my existing holes, sure, why not? I could clock it and make some new ones, but actually I am going to do that because who cares what it looks like? I'm not going for show winner here, but I just want to see if it'll play. Yes, I know, before everybody scolds me, don't do this. Just don't do what I do, okay? There's a lot of things that I do that aren't technically right. Drywall screws, wrong types of wood, crusty subs with bad contacts. They've been sitting in water for who knows how long. So, yep, I'm not even gonna wipe any of that off. Let's go jam this thing in the car, see if it'll play again. Man, I hope so. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Okay. As you guys can see, it's a beautiful spring day out. No, that's not my dandruff, that's snow. So I'm gonna hook this thing back up. Oh, there we go. Professional setup, look at that. For those of you that haven't seen the previous video, there's my little guy right there. If you've seen some of my other Grand Marquis videos, yeah, I'm sitting here in park with my seatbelt on, because this stupid door dinger won't ever shut up. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm that old school. I still carry a CD case with a bunch of CDs in it, and, I don't know. It's like the people that listen to vinyl records. It's just my generation, I guess. I do put stuff on Bluetooth and hook it up to all that, but sometimes it's nice to just put a CD in and let it play through. Let's try this thing out, see if it plays. Lock her down, Judy. Fuck that shit up, go to... Well, I know the audio doesn't come across the greatest, but trust me when I say that it sounds pretty good. I do have to cut audio clips fairly short because, well, copyright stuff. So there's that. So far, I'm pretty impressed for that thing basically being junk. I was going to throw them away because they're in such rough shape. I am blown away that that thing's hitting that hard and playing that well. I'm going to do some, like, just bass drops and stuff like that. and, you know, see how this, because I took my seatbelt off. I'm going to do some like bass drops and stuff like that, really put this thing through the paces and see how that goes. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with this thing. Well, there we go. I am kind of blown away by that thing. That little bitty amp pushes that thing as hard as it does. It actually is playing pretty well. And B, that an old crusty sub that's been sitting in the corner of my garage collecting moisture and dust and spider webs and dirt and everything can just get thrown straight into a box and play that well. Anyway, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Just a fun little kind of goof around, you know, slap something together and make it play and, you know, have some fun with it. Like I said, kind of got that old school vibe, you know, out in the driveway, goofing around with cars, making do with what I got. So, if you enjoyed it, definitely leave the video a like. If you want to see more of this kind of stuff, I have a bunch of my old car audio stuff laying around, and obviously plenty of vehicles to throw stereos in. So, if you want to see more stereo content, definitely leave me a comment, leave the video a like, let me know you guys are enjoying this stuff. And, yeah, I guess that'll do it for this one. So, appreciate you guys hanging out. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Now I gotta find something to do with this thing. Yeah, we'll put it back in the corner.